Hey everyone, I hope you're all having a good weekend. It's Sunday, August 16th, so this is a watch this video for Monday, August 17th. We start with the SPY, and again, we've got this kind of V, well, sort of a V, right? Pandemic, and we've been grinding for, like 6 months, and working our way back up, basically sitting at all-time highs, or right below it anyway. When that happens, when you make a long trek back up to all-time highs, generally what you get is what we see here. A lot of these days, you see gaps between the days, but the days themselves, extremely narrow ranges. Nobody wants to take a big bet long or short at this point, right? We're in a weird spot. So look at this candle. Look at Thursdays. You can go back and look several times. We've had very narrow ranges in the past couple weeks and ended up closing pretty close to where we opened. Not the best day trading scenario, but we're still doing a good job in chat. This is August. All my trades in August so far. Green dots mean new highs for the year. So I didn't just cherry pick August, but you can see a little bit more sketchiness in my results for August than I've had. This summer has been early summer was amazing, and we've been telling everybody, hey, things are going to change. It's not always going to be this easy, and you can see where it got a little tougher. I took a couple hits here and there, but still sitting at all-time highs, and that is the direct result of applying a process that we teach day in and day out. I'm just saying it certainly hasn't been. I don't like to use the term as easy because I never want to use the term easy to describe trading. A lot of people will use that, and I usually say that's the beginning and the end of them because you have to stay humble in this market. And so I never want to use the term easy because there's nothing easy about it. But I would say, as Wayne would say, early this summer was less hard than the market usually is, and now we're getting into sitting near all-time highs. August trading is typically very low volume anyway, and that's this August is no exception. So you really have to be patient. A lot of times, the toughest part about it can be just sitting on your hands and doing nothing unless an A+ setup comes along or a news play, right? And then you implement the strategies that we teach if you get what sounds like good news on the stock or whatever. Sometimes the hardest part can be sitting on your hands and doing nothing because everybody wants to trade, and it's not always fast-paced and exciting. Anyway, so what are we watching for Monday? I got to put this EBON on a chart. It hasn't been trading that long, but certainly a big volume, the biggest volume it's ever had, and a fairly strong close, all things considered. So I want to watch that for a continuation play. Kroger is KR, grocery stores. A nice volume pop anyway, and then in after hours, I think they announced Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's company, has a stake, or maybe they already had a stake and increased the stake. I double checked the actual headline, but they certainly talked about in after hours Berkshire Hathaway and a stake in Kroger, KR. So probably be gapping on Monday morning. We went out at 35.80, so not a big gap in after hours, but I want to keep an eye on it for that. GNPX, kind of a nice looking chart, big pop back here to $7, and then it's just it's had a few subsequent pops to the 450 area here, and then again on Friday. So a break above that area might give a nice trade. Certainly going to have it on a chart. AMC, the movie theaters, you had this big pop on Thursday and an inside day on Friday, but went out near its highs on Friday. So a break of Friday's high, which would be over 563. I look to the left and say, hey, Thursday's high is only 577, just above that. And by the way, it's kind of sitting, and you can't see it on this chart, but the 200-day is right about, coming down right about here. I guess I could slide over my smaller version of the daily chart. The purple line there is my 200-day, or the 200-day for that. So, maybe it's just consolidating a couple days at the 200-day before it gets going again. Who knows? We'll see. We'll only trade it with an A+ setup. I think there are probably a lot of shorts in the name. ZAGG, Z-A-G-G, nice pop back here on big volume to 450. And then it's been flirting with trying to break through four, kind of consolidating here. Again, nice volume on Friday. So certainly if we can get through 4, as always, I look to the left and say, well, there's a recent high of 413 and above that 416. And if you break out of that area, then you could say, hey, this 450 high from early June could be a decent target for a day trade. So I definitely want to watch that one. What do we got? SKYS, big volume day and a fairly strong close, closing well off its highs, but a big volume day on Friday. It's not near breaking recent highs or anything, but maybe we get a continuation day on Monday. Grill, GRIL, lower volume stock. This big volume spike on Friday still was only 1.7 million shares. Looks like it started trading back in February. So, it's kind of curling up. It looks like maybe it's put in its lows and it's curling up in nice volume. So certainly going to keep an eye on that one. IGC just goes back on Bounce Watch. I like it more down here than I did when it closed Thursday, right at Monday, or Wednesday. Wednesday's closed. Had the big pop Wednesday. Then the big nasty reversal Thursday. And like I said, a lot of times you see that and you get where it closes about the same spot those 2 days in a row. And then you say, I don't know who's winning. Well, on Friday, the Bears definitely won the battle of this, the 3-day battle. It's heading lower. But, was the news good enough to keep it from round tripping and coming all the way back down? If so, if it is deemed as such, we might get a nice bounce Monday or Tuesday. So I'm definitely going to have it on a chart. LMPX, little volume spike on Friday, but that's not why it's on watch. It's on watch because it ripped in after hours and finished trading in after hours around 11.50. So potential gapper on Monday. It actually went over 12 in after hours for a little bit, settled in at 11.50. Pretty sure it's a fairly low float stock, so we keep a close eye on LMPX. A couple more. CHCI. I kind of like the chart anyway. It feels like it's building. Got slapped down several times back here, but it's kind of building. Well, anyway, in after hours, went out trading at 385, so potential gapper on Monday. And again, I'm only going to trade a gapper with a proper A+ intraday setup. And then lastly, gold. I was speaking of Berkshire Hathaway in after hours. They also announced a stake, or maybe they already had a stake and announced an increase. I'm not sure. I called this an after hours for those that were around through 28. And ended up going out at 29.18 by the time the session ended. So just going to watch that one too with the Berkshire Hathaway news. We're going to keep an eye on that. We'll add other gappers to this list in the pre-market as well. Should be plenty to trade, but just do not forget. I'll go back to the daily on the SPY. We're seeing this. We're seeing some narrow ranges. So learn to sit on your hands and only trade when you have an A+ setup. It's not easy to do, but it pays better. All right, I'm done babbling. We'll see you in chat on Monday.